So folks, this is Donna Spencer Collins. Donna and I have known each other since 2007, worked on a commission together, and then Donna worked directly with me in Tewksbury for maybe 3 or 4 years, and we've been in touch. I've been hearing about this beautiful space, and now I got to walk around in it today. It's very exciting. And Donna brings a very creative mind, an open spirit, a heart of prayer, and it's a privilege to hear some of her thoughts as we talk today about Church Without Walls.
Thank you for having me do that. I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
So Jesus asks this woman for a cup of cold water and makes an interesting connection with her needs, I think. I wondered if you could tell us just a little story about finding a connection point with someone who's been drawn into this place of blessing and ministry here.
Well, one of the very first places that I went was the Roma restaurant, because they said there was karaoke there. And I figured I don't know anybody, that would be a good way to meet new people. And the day that we went, it was Memorial Day weekend, and they didn't have karaoke that day, and there was like 4 people in the bar and 2 waitresses. And one of them was a waitress named Shelley, and we stayed for a little while, and so she's asking us all kinds of questions, but I was really reluctant to tell her why I was there. And so she finally said, so, what are you doing here? And I said, well, we just moved here to town. And she go, oh, so why? I says, well, I got a job. And she says, what kind of work do you do? And I said, well, I'm a minister. Oh, really? What are you doing in a bar? I said, well, I like karaoke. And so she said, so then she came back a little bit later, and she says, oh, what church are you with? I said, well, I'm with the United Church of Christ. And she just stepped back and was very emotional. She says, I used to go to UCC Church, and I left a long time ago because they were going in a direction that I couldn't handle, and as a matter of fact, that church left the UCC. And in Haverhill, there were 4 or 5 UCC churches that left the UCC, and then the only one that was left closed. And I said, well, I'm that person who they hired for that church that closed, and we're going to start a new ministry with the money that they got from the building, and Phoenix Rising. And she said, really? And why is this going to be different? I said, well, I'm sitting in a bar talking to a bartender that I wouldn't have talked to before. And we became fast friends after that. And she actually is a real estate agent. That was her part-time job. And her significant other were the ones that sought out our space that we have today, and the blessing that comes from it. So that's one story. I have a whole bunch of others.
So Jesus asks the woman for a drink, and in a way he just finds it's certainly a real need, but something that he held in common with her. And I'm wondering if you can think back to moments when you made a connection around a shared need or a shared interest that you have with someone who's become part of your ministry.
Yeah, one of my most profound moments was on many levels. It was. I did join Toastmasters, like I wasn't even hired yet, but I felt so pulled in this direction that even if I wasn't hired, I would probably stay in Toastmasters. And so I started going, and there was a woman, Ann, there, and I just made a connection with her, just her personality. And so I had been going, I had been hired, and since then. So in September, she asked if she said, I go kayaking, do you want to go? I got an extra spot. And I didn't even hesitate. I said, yes. Now, I've been canoeing, but I never really went kayaking in the mouth of a river near the ocean. But it didn't matter, because I just felt like I had made this connection. It was going to be a nice thing. So I went, and in all honesty, it was probably the most profound experience that I had on many levels. It was the nature, it was our conversation, it was how relaxed we were with one another, and we were in a tour group. And there was one moment we had an opportunity to go to the spot because it was low tide, and there were seals there, and they literally within about 5 feet from us, they were popping out of the water and just looking at us in the kayaks. And I mean, what are you, 2 inches out of the water in a kayak? And just in that moment, how special and holy it was. And it was a Sunday, and I'm supposed to be in church, but I was having church and making a friend, and she's actually now our treasurer of our church, and really has been such a gift. And we both bought kayaks this last spring, so yeah.